Coming up on AgweekTV, we'll talk on the hot topics in ag at the National Association of Farm Broadcasters Convention in Kansas City, Missouri. A hot topic here is the ag labor crisis. We'll look at some possible solutions. We'll look at the efforts to boost soy exports. And they're celebrating the Thanksgiving bird all this week at this Minnesota turkey farm. Welcome to AgweekTV. I'm Emily Beal. We're on the road this week, coming to you from the National Association of Farm Broadcasting Convention in Kansas City, Missouri. This year marks the 81st year that farm broadcasters and ag industry reps have gathered for the convention. The event features discussions about hot-button topics and how they impact the ag industry. One of the topics here at the convention is the labor crisis in the ag industry. Ariana Schumacher has more.
Thanks, Emily. Today I'm joined here with Chuck Connor, the CEO of the National Council of Farmer Cooperatives. So Chuck, start off by telling us a little bit about the ag workforce labor issues.
Well, labor has been, a number one issue out there. It's been a top tier issue on our farms and ranches and our cooperatives across the country now for many, many years. And we have been desperately trying to work with Congress to get them to fix a lot of these labor issues. We had a very comprehensive bipartisan bill way back in 2013. We weren't able to get it through the Congress. We've, revised various versions of that through the years. We've been close, but we've never actually gotten Congress to legislatively fix this problem to solve a lot of our labor issues. We continue to hope that maybe this coming year, with the new team in place, that this will be the year to fix those problems. Everybody needs more labor across the country. That is a common theme you hear no matter who you talk to.
And in this recent election cycle, President-elect Donald Trump talks a lot about deportation. How will that impact the ag workforce here in the United States?
Well, we obviously, don't favor any kind of deportation. We've known for many, many years in agriculture that we've got a lot of workers on our farms and ranches who don't have the proper legal documentation to be here, even though they have probably worked on that farm and ranch in some cases for decades. And so, it would be very disruptive to the system to remove those workers that again have been out there for a long, long time, committed to work in agriculture. Some say it's as much as 2/3 of our labor force out there. We need to make the case and inform in a serious way the Trump administration of how we're trying to fix this problem, the impact that would have just simply to remove the workers, which is substantial. Some say, perhaps a 5 or 6% increase in food price inflation and doing that sort of thing. I don't think this is what the Trump administration wants. I don't think that's why they were elected, to sort of go after these workers. And we hope to have a collaborative relationship to fix a lot of our ag labor problems so that we're able to produce more of our food here at home. And I think that would be very, very consistent with what President Trump was elected to do.
And what is it going to take to fix this issue?
It's going to take legislation on the part of Congress. They need to reform the H-2A program. They need to make the H-2A program available to year-round work in agriculture, mainly on our dairy farms across the country. And then we have to do something about providing some kind of legal work authorization for our existing workforce on our farms and ranches that, as I've said, perhaps as much as 2/3 of that are folks who don't have proper documentation to be here. We need to get them proper documentation to have a work permit so that they can remain on those farms and ranches and stay.
And are there any branches of the ag industry that are facing workforce issues more heavily than other areas of the ag industry?
Well, certainly fruit and vegetable, industry has very, very high labor needs. We say if in the fruit and vegetable sector, your fruit and vegetables that you eat are going to be handled by foreign workers. It's a question of, are the foreign workers here in the United States, or are we going to be importing it from somewhere else? I think virtually every consumer in the United States would say they would prefer it be, produced and handled right here, in the United States of America. So fruit and vegetable is heavily impacted by this.
Thanks, Ariana. Soy is the nation's #1 agricultural export, and the U.S. Soybean Export Council is looking to keep it that way. Kimberly Atkins, Director of Strategic Partnerships for the U.S. Soybean Export Council, sat on the U.S. Ag Export Outlook panel at the NAFB convention. She says that while they have a strong foothold in China, they are looking for other emerging markets for U.S. soy products.
Yes, China is an important market and we need to maintain access to that market, but we are really focused on expanding opportunities for U.S. soy around the world. And we're seeing a lot of growth opportunities in places like Southeast Asia, Latin America, so we're continuing to focus on those.
In addition to finding new markets, the U.S. Soybean Export Council has been working hard to differentiate U.S. soy from other countries, making it the preferred soy around the world. Coming up on AgweekTV from Kansas City, new North Dakota lawmakers get a close look at one of the state's biggest industries.
We offer the full lineup of brand products. Big ones are going to be your conveyors, your land rollers, grain carts, high-speed discs. Those are going to be the very popular ones that we see out in the countryside and we like to have on hand here at all times.
Brand does a really good job of supporting the products and providing the parts on time and when you need them. For a full line of brand products, give us a call at 701-361-4790 or visit our website at northstar-ag.com.
People's Company and Steve Dalen Farmland Sales eXp Realty are excited to auction 320 acres of Norman County, Minnesota farmland. Just 6 miles from the Ada West piling station, the land will be sold as 2 adjacent 160-acre tracts and has a proven record of excellent yields when growing sugar beets as well as small grains, corn, and soybeans. The auction is Tuesday, December 3rd at 10 a.m. at the Courtyard by Marriott in Moorhead. For more information or to register and bid online, visit peoplescompany.com. That's peoplescompany.com.
There's no easy button, no guarantees, or promises of a good year. This is farming. It's unpredictable and demanding, with long days and sometimes stressful nights. It's weathering the storms and coming out successful. Farming isn't for everyone. We thank those who make it their life, because it is for everyone.
Introducing the all-new Vatterstadt Tempo K24, designed and built in the U.S. It combines capacity with superior precision, even at very high speeds. With PowerShoot technology that uses positive air pressure to take full control of the seed from the meter all the way down to the soil, using no belts, motors, or brushes. Start your journey to outstanding emergence. Pre-order your Tempo K today.
Integrity, excellence, teamwork. At Titan Machinery, we take care of our team. Whether you are an experienced technician or looking to start your career, Titan has a spot for you. Earn a competitive pay with the potential to make in excess of 6 figures. Service techs, come grow with a company that invests in you. Titan Machinery offers company HSA and 401k contributions, free single healthcare, and a generous tool allowance. Plus, we'll provide all of your uniform and safety gear. Apply today at titanmachinery.com/careers.
Welcome back to AgweekTV from the National Association of Farm Broadcasting Convention in Kansas City, Missouri. Environmental issues were a topic of discussion at the National Association of Farm Broadcasting's annual convention. One of the main concerns was the definition of waters of the United States. Ariana Schumacher has more.
There's a lot of confusion still surrounding the definition of waters of the United States.
There has been ping-ponging back and forth of definitions based on the administration, which has led to a lack of certainty and a lack of clarity for our members.
Waters of the U.S., that's probably the most problematic when you think about farmers and their concerns and getting a better definition of waters of the U.S.
Waters of the United States encompasses many things, including land rights, the ability for landowners to use their land, and Clean Water Act permits.
We've seen this regulatory creep over the last several decades that has been very concerning. 50 years ago, when they passed the Clean Water Act, rivers were literally on fire. Now, fast forward 50 years, we're talking about regulating low spots in a farm field. We've come very far.
Briggs said she had hoped the 2023 Supreme Court ruling of Sackett versus Environmental Protection Agency would create clarity and certainty around the regulatory definitions of waters of the United States.
Unfortunately, the Biden administration has not done that.
There are hopes that these terms may become clearer under the new Trump administration.
Potentially, a really good outcome would be to have Congress do something so that we don't have this definition going back and forth whenever you change an administration or change a head person at EPA.
There are a few terms within the Biden administration's definition that they have I believe, intentionally left undefined in order for them to expand their jurisdictional reach, to allow them to have the latitude to regulate however they please. And I think if we can find some definitions that are very clear and precise for our members, that will clear up a lot of the uncertainty and the lack of clarity in the regulatory space.
In Kansas City, Missouri, this is Ariana Schumacher for AgWeek.
Briggs encourages the new administration to create a rulemaking that respects the law, congressional intent, and the Sackett decision. Several North Dakota commodity and ag advocacy groups hosted state lawmakers on a tour of some ag businesses. They wanted to highlight the importance of ag, adding value to farm products, and how ag can work with government. Jenny Schleck was on the tour and has more.
A day like today is just really important to help educate legislators.
As the Vice President of Government and Public Affairs for Ag Country Farm Credit Services, Howard Olson wants to make sure lawmakers understand the challenges farmers face.
Just help them get a better understanding of production agriculture, what we've got going on, the uphill battles that our farmers always face.
Olson also emceed a panel with farmers and ranchers. They talked about value-added agriculture, and that was emphasized when they toured some ag processing plants. Stops included Cavendish Farms, a potato processing plant at Jamestown, then a visit to a farm and feedlot. They also toured the Dakota Spirit ethanol plant and Green Bison soy processing.
This is my first tour of the soybean plant, the ethanol plant, and Cavendish Farms, so I'm glad I came.
Desiree Van Osteen is newly elected to the North Dakota Senate, and this whirlwind tour is giving her a look at one of the state's most important industries. Although she grew up on a farm, she says she's learning a lot.
The importance of the infrastructure with roads and the connectivity to the soybean plant, everything is just so interconnected.
And Olson says challenges will continue into 2025.
Because our commodity prices still are staying low, and the input costs are still up there. So, and we heard that from the farmers today too, that they agreed with that they are challenged to show profitability for next year.
In Jamestown, North Dakota, this is Jenny Schlecht for AgWeek.
Farmers also got to talk to lawmakers about regulation, property tax relief, increasing animal ag, exports, and the daycare shortage. Ahead on AgweekTV, how will the election impact ag? We'll ask an expert.
Have what it takes to overcome challenges, raise more bushels, and grow a long-lasting legacy? Absolutely. At Peterson Farm Seed, we'll help you reach your potential and maximize returns on every acre. Peterson Farm Seed.
A farmer's work is never done. You're not just planting a seed or harvesting a crop, you're growing a legacy. When you're up before dawn and out long past dusk, you need a banker who will work with your schedule, not the other way around. At Choice, we do banking differently, giving farmers like you time back to focus on what really matters. Choice Bank, top North Dakota ag bank for 10 years running, and always people first.
Mice are a real problem and get into everything. They leave a scent trail, bringing more mice to the party. Poisons and traps just lure mice in, leaving you with the mess and costly damage. Introducing Mouse Mix, the world's safest and most effective deterrent. The pleasant scent interferes with the mouse's sense of smell. Simply put, they can't stand it. Mouse Mix works 6 months for complete winter storage of campers, cabins, boats, cars, and farm equipment. Mouse Mix, you put it out and the mice leave.
When it comes to grain storage and handling solutions, one call does it all. Gateway Building Systems is one of the largest Brock bin dealers in the U.S. Our expert team is dedicated to creating a customized plan for your future success. Expanding your operation has never been easier with our range of Brock solid bins, grain dryers, conveyors, and more. As your trusted partner, we are committed to serving the needs of farmers. Take the first step toward success and call Gateway Building Systems today.
You work well under pressure, fighting the clock to get your seed in the ground. At Peterson Farm Seed, we've got your back, always. Count on us to deliver what you need when you need it. Peterson Farm Seed, we're that kind of seed company.
AgWeek Weather is sponsored by Bremer Bank. Connect with a banker today at bremer.com.
What can the region expect for weather as we head into the heart of November? Here's our AgriWeather outlook.
A pattern change appears to be taking shape as we go through the mid part of November, and it will bring a number of significant changes. Colder weather into the northern part of the U.S. and, in fact, over much of the United States appears likely. Some of it will be below freezing, cold enough for snow out into the Great Plains, and it does look like there will be an active pattern. So there is going to be potential here over the next couple of weeks, the second half of November, the Thanksgiving time of year, for some snowstorms into the Northern Plains, Great Lakes. Tracks uncertain as always as you get into wintertime. When you're dealing with a long-range forecast, I'm not going to be able to say where, a certain snowstorm is going to hit Madison or Milwaukee, but you get the idea from the general logic of the more active pattern. And with the seasons progressing and the weather finally beginning to turn colder, whether the precipitation falls where you are as rain or as snow, or both, or one changing to the other, will be a big part of the mix. Colder weather dropping south. Jet stream for the time being, as we start off this 2-week period, kind of split into two parts, but then beginning to gather together. A wave of low pressure is expected to move out of the southwest early in this first week and produce some kind of a storm system for the Midwest, upper Midwest, central and northern plains, and it will likely tap into some cold weather. The dark blue is where I am expecting high temperatures near freezing or below freezing. So pretty cold weather getting into North Dakota. Not unseasonably cold, in fact, quite seasonable, but it will be the first real push of cold weather down into the northern plains. I've been seeing that dark blue hang over the Rocky Mountains for some weeks now, but we haven't seen it drop into the U.S. east of the mountains. I think it will, probably getting as far south as Iowa and Wisconsin. Further south from there, it's going to be a little bit warmer than that, but I do expect by the end of the week, relatively cool weather will invade into much of the deep south except for maybe the Florida Peninsula. And even those areas may see some cooler temperatures. As we get on into the second week of the forecast, this will be Thanksgiving week. There are signs of the split redeveloping, and that would likely mean a little bit milder weather, maybe not super warm like it's been, not a lot of 50s and 60s to the northern plains, but at least warm enough to maybe melt some snow if we do get some snow on the ground. Speaking of, this first week there will likely be a storm system lifting out, producing rain changing to snow, or snow depending on location. Tune into the local forecast as we get closer to it. The Rockies will likely get another dose. The second week of the period, probably lighter snows coming out into the northern plains with lighter areas of rain further east.
People's Company and Steve Dalen Farmland Sales eXp Realty are excited to auction 320 acres of Norman County, Minnesota farmland. Just 6 miles from the Ada West piling station, the land will be sold as 2 adjacent 160-acre tracts and has a proven record of excellent yields when growing sugar beets as well as small grains, corn, and soybeans. The auction is Tuesday, December 3rd at 10 a.m. at the Courtyard by Marriott in Moorhead. For more information or to register and bid online, visit peoplescompany.com. That's peoplescompany.com.
We offer the full lineup of brand products. Big ones are going to be your conveyors, your land rollers, grain carts, high-speed discs. Those are going to be the very popular ones that we see out in the countryside and we like to have on hand here at all times.
Brand does a really good job of supporting the products and providing the parts on time and when you need them. For a full line of brand products, give us a call at 701-361-4790 or visit our website at northstar-ag.com.
There's no easy button, no guarantees, or promises of a good year. This is farming. It's unpredictable and demanding, with long days and sometimes stressful nights. It's weathering the storms and coming out successful. Farming isn't for everyone. We thank those who make it their life, because it is for everyone.
Introducing the all-new Vaterstat Tempo K24, designed and built in the U.S. It combines capacity with superior precision, even at very high speeds. With PowerShoot technology that uses positive air pressure to take full control of the seed from the meter all the way down to the soil, using no belts, motors, or brushes. Start your journey to outstanding emergence. Pre-order your Tempo K today.
We started with a raw piece of ground out here, and we put in bins, and then we started coming in with the leg and dryer system and threw in a pit. The process with working with them has been very simple. It was a one-stop shop. Go there. We came up with a plan together, and they have been executing it flawlessly. Hi, I'm Brian Hoffman, and I highly recommend using Advanced Grain out of Mayville, North Dakota.
Welcome back to AgweekTV. Joining me now is Sam Kiefer with the American Farm Bureau Federation to discuss the recent presidential election. Sam, how is the re-election of Donald Trump going to impact agriculture?
Well, hi, Emily. Thanks for having me. The results of election night were significant, very decisive, and the only the shocking thing was the margin, not just the electoral college votes, but also the popular vote. So the incoming administration and, frankly, the House and Senate, have a sense of euphoria, and they're talking about a mandate they have from the people. They certainly have that. What remains to be seen is how the cabinet's going to shape up and how Congress is going to react to the new to the new administration. Most importantly is what will President-elect Trump signal is okay to finish in 2024, because there's a lot to do. There is a whole lot to do, including a farm bill, and we see opportunities to clear the deck with farm bill so that when we get to 2025, the incoming administration and the new Congress can play the first 100 days with President Trump's priorities.
Taking a look at the recent election results, how did they differ from 2016?
The most significant difference was in 2016, rural America showed up. 2020, less so, but in 24, rural America showed up again. What we saw that was different was, across the board, President Trump gained, a larger share of the percentage of the vote in nearly every demographic category, including suburban and including urban households. So, and that's reflected in every swing state going into the category for Donald J. Trump.
There's been a lot of talk on trade and exports. Do you see there being a big change as this new administration comes back into office?
But during the campaign, we certainly heard a lot of talk about using tariffs as a tool when it comes to trade. We are currently in a trade imbalance, largely because of the price of the commodities. Volume is more or less intact, but American agriculture needs to grow. And how do we grow? How do we get better prices? By exporting, creating new markets. And President Trump has shown a commitment in his previous administration, to play on the international stage. Agriculture in general has been frustrated. The last 4 years, there hasn't been a whole lot of growth on the trade arena. So there is some optimism, but there's also a little bit of uncertainty because the word tariff does frighten a lot of producers.
Absolutely. It's going to be an interesting 4 years. Thank you so much for joining me today, Sam.
Thank you for having me.
Sam Kiefer, American Farm Bureau Federation. Still ahead on AgweekTV, they're celebrating turkeys this week at a southeast Minnesota turkey farm.
For home delivery of AgWeek, log on to agweek.com or call 800-811-2580.
Have what it takes to overcome challenges, raise more bushels, and grow a long-lasting legacy? Absolutely. At Peterson Farm Seed, we'll help you reach your potential and maximize returns on every acre. Peterson Farm Seed.
Integrity, excellence, teamwork. At Titan Machinery, we take care of our team. Whether you are an experienced technician or looking to start your career, Titan has a spot for you. Earn a competitive pay with the potential to make in excess of 6 figures. Service techs, come grow with a company that invests in you. Titan Machinery offers company HSA and 401k contributions, free single healthcare, and a generous tool allowance. Plus, we'll provide all of your uniform and safety gear. Apply today at titanmachinery.com/careers.
Mice are a real problem and get into everything. They leave a scent trail, bringing more mice to the party. Poisons and traps just lure mice in, leaving you with the mess and costly damage. Introducing Mouse Mix, the world's safest and most effective deterrent. The pleasant scent interferes with the mouse's sense of smell. Simply put, they can't stand it. Mouse Mix works 6 months for complete winter storage of campers, cabins, boats, cars, and farm equipment. Mouse Mix, you put it out and the mice leave.
Add more bushels to your hopper and money to your pocket by harnessing the power of air with Crary wind systems. Whether your beans are chest high or barely off the ground, Crary offers 2 solutions that add a constant stream of high-velocity air to quickly feed crop back to the auger, eliminating bunching, reducing shatter loss, and increasing your ground speed. Don't let crop conditions dictate your yield. Check out the Crary Air Reel or Crary Wind System today.
When it comes to grain storage and handling solutions, one call does it all. Gateway Building Systems is one of the largest Brock bin dealers in the U.S. Our expert team is dedicated to creating a customized plan for your future success. Expanding your operation has never been easier with our range of Brock solid bins, grain dryers, conveyors, and more. As your trusted partner, we are committed to serving the needs of farmers. Take the first step toward success and call Gateway Building Systems today.
You work well under pressure, fighting the clock to get your seed in the ground. At Peterson Farm Seed, we've got your back, always. Count on us to deliver what you need when you need it. Peterson Farm Seed, we're that kind of seed company.
A Minnesota turkey farm is celebrating the Thanksgiving Star. We take you to the Turkey Fest in this week's AgWeek cover story. Ferndale Market in Cannon Falls has been raising turkeys free range and with no antibiotics since 1939. They sell about 150,000 birds a year. They make a variety of turkey products year-round, but this month is the peak for processing and sales of whole birds. John Peterson and his wife are now the 3rd generation to run the business. He says they sell about 50,000 turkeys for Thanksgiving. In 2008, they started a tradition called Turkey Fest to sell right to customers and have some fun. It runs the week before Thanksgiving. Peterson compares Turkey Fest to picking out your Christmas tree at the farm.
We'll have food trucks here every day serving fun local foods. We'll have vendors, partners here every day sampling other local foods. In addition to picking up a fresh Thanksgiving turkey, customers can also pick up a lot of the other foods to round out their table with local items, pies, gravy, stuffing, all of those kinds of things to keep those dollars here in Minnesota and get better local foods for your holiday table.
If you can't get to Cannon Falls, several stores around the state carry them, or you can order a turkey online. You can read more in the next AgWeek magazine or at agweek.com. We appreciate you watching us this week from the National Association of Farm Broadcasting Convention in Kansas City, Missouri. Remember to check us out daily on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok to keep up on all your ag news. Have a great week.